Okay, today I'm going to be running you guys through the very start of your Fusion 360 training. Just talk a little bit about the software and do a very basic 3D object to get you started. So the first thing we're going to do is you'll be greeted with this screen. This is what Fusion 360 looks like. So you've got lots of different tools that you can use up here to do your drawings and to make your 3D operations. You've got your browser down here on the left, which is for breaking up sketches and different parts, which will make more sense as we go. You've got this cube on the top right hand side, which shows us what face or part of the object that we're actually looking at. And that's pretty much it. It'll all start to make sense as we start drawing more and more things. Fusion is a very complicated piece of software. You can do really easy stuff in it, and you can do really full-on complicated things as well. Obviously, we're going to start right at the easy end of the scale. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to just save our drawing, because as soon as we save our drawing, it's going to continually keep auto-saving, so we're never going to lose our work. Now, if you see this location section and you click on the down arrow here, this is actually saving. So when you guys installed Fusion 360 and created that account, you've actually created a cloud storage account for 360, which is great. It means you can never ever lose your work, which is fantastic. So I've got some project files here. I want you just to create a new project and call it tutorials. In here, I've already created one for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we clicked on tutorials, so the location will be tutorials in the master here. And we're going to save, we're going to call this one step block, and then hit save. Okay, now it's changed it, we're in step block version 0, so we're ready to start drawing. So in Fusion 360, usually you do a 2D drawing and then a 3D operation to it. That's how you get started. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a sketch. So if this button here, the create a sketch button with the picture of the pencil, we can click on that one. And then what that's going to do is that's going to allow us to start sketching on a surface. Okay, and it's given us these 3 options here. And these will actually match up with the cube up here in the top right hand corner. So that's the front of the object. That'll be the left hand side of it. And that would be the top or the bottom of the object, depending on how you're looking at it. And you can remember that because this diamond here, this diamond shape as I've got this selected, matches this top cube diamond shape over here. So I am going to select this front face here. And I'm going to do that one. And that's going to bring it round. I know I'm on the front because it's changed up here. And I'm going to start drawing. I'm going to start drawing this little step block that I'm going to be making. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a line. Now the shortcut to do that is if you hit L, this line tool will start coming up. And what we're going to do is we're going to very roughly, and I'm going to use the grid, I'm going to draw out, I'm going to just draw at random sizes my step block. Here, up here, up here. That one's not quite straight. I can fix it up later though. That one there. Up to there, up to the top, and then back to there. The arrow clicks, and that's now turned that into a, oh, one more time. Yep, that's now turned into a shape because it's gone nice and orange for us. Okay, I'm going to hit escape to get out of that tool, and now I can hit D. Now when I hit the D key, you can see the way, watch my cursor, hit the D, now we're into dimension mode. So now I can start giving this some dimensions on it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click this line, click and let go, push out to where I want to go, click again, change that to 45 millimeters. D again, dimension, push out, 45 millimeters. Now, I'm going to bring up my constraints. My constraints window, this one here. Okay, so this sketch palette to the side here. I'll open this one up. I'll hit these arrows here and actually get this sketch palette on the screen. I've got a few things I can change in here, but the one I'm focusing on is constraints. So you can constrain lines to each other. So you can change the relationship between 2 lines. You can see this one here, I've actually drawn them a little bit wonky. And what I want is I want them to be 90 degrees to each other, or perpendicular. So I can actually click on this perpendicular constraint here. And I can click on this line and that line. And see, it's actually made them perpendicular to how I want, which is fantastic. So I just hit escape again. And now I'm going to go back to dimensioning. Hit D. Going to make that one 15 millimeters. 15 millimeters. Just make sure if it's your first drawing, if yours isn't looking like millimeters, you might have found that your active units over here might not be millimeters. So if it's looking a bit weird, and it's coming up as inches instead, just go over your units here and click on this one to the side of it, and just change your active units and make sure you're over in millimeters. Dimension, push this one up here, 15 millimeters. That one's not very neat, so I might just move that out a little bit out here. That's better. Try and keep your drawings neat so you know what's going on. That one, 15 millimeters. And if I click on this one here, if I try and dimension this last one, it's going to yell at me because I've over-constrained it. Because due to maths, if this edge here is 45 degrees, and this one's 15 and this one's 15, this edge here can only be 15 degrees. Same as this one here. If I try and put a dimension onto that one, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to yell at me and tell me it's over-constrained. Okay? So that's the start of my step block, which I'm pretty happy with. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to extrude this particular shape. So at the moment, it's on this front. If I click on the top right-hand corner of this cube up here, it's just a 2D sketch in this 3D space. And I want to actually give that some depth. So to do that, I can extrude it. So on this modify here, that's press pull, which is what I want to do, an extrusion, or press pull. I've got a whole bunch of different ones here. So up on this table up here, this toolbar up here, you've got tons of different things you can do. So I want to extrude it or push pull it. Okay? So it's a press pull. Or to get even quicker, I can hit the Q key. I can do my press pull on that one. Select it, so I need to select the shape. And then what I can do is I can actually push and pull that out to make it a 3D shape. And I want it to go 45 millimeters. So you can pull it out until it reads 45 just here, or you can go to the distance section and change that to 45. And now I can hit OK. And now we've created our first 3D object inside Fusion. So what we're going to do next, I want to show you how to do a couple of different operations. So the first thing we can do is we can round corners or fillet things to make the edges on them rounded. So you can go to Modify, and you can actually go to Fillet, or the easy way to do it is just to hit the F key. I'm going to click on these 3 lines here, and I'm going to change that to 5 millimeters. And see that? It's going to round them off. Now I might decide that on this face here, I actually want a hole to go through it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hover over this face. I'm going to right click on it. And I'm going to go create sketch. And now I'm drawing again. Now if I want to draw a circle, I can click down this sketch option up here and select a circle or an ellipse. Or the other way to do it is I can hit C for circle. Or another handy thing to do is just like you've got Spotlight on your Mac, if you hit S, you've actually got a Spotlight-like feature inside of Fusion. And it actually has a few favorites saved here as well, one of which is the circle. But I could also type in here, circle, and I'm going to get a few different options. So I might want to do a center diameter circle, a 2-point circle, 3-point circles, lots of different ways of drawing it. We're going to do a center diameter circle. So I can click on that one. And now I've got this tool open. I'm going to click anywhere in here. I'm going to make a 15 millimeter diameter circle, like that. Okay? Now if I'm not sure where I want it, I'm going to move that circle so it's equal. So the distance from here to the edge and the distance from here to the edge is the same. So I'm going to hit the D key to dimension. I'm going to click on this outside edge, and then I click on the center of that circle. Sorry, and then the outside edge. I've got that 15 mil, which I'm happy with. So I'm going to go enter on that. Click this outside edge, center of the circle, bring it down, and I change that to 15 as well. So now the circle's in this equal place here, which is what I want. So what I'll do is I can now do a modifier, press pull, or I can hit just Q. It's going to change the view for me. I can select what I want to do. And I could either pull like a pole coming out this way, or I could push it all the way back in, like this, and actually remove the material. So it actually changes. It's doing a cut here, whereas when I pull it out this way, it's going to do what's called a join and add the material. So Fusion 360 is pretty smart, and it'll actually, it can actually try and work out what you want to do. You can also notice you've got an angle adjustment here, so if you click and hold on this one, you can actually change the angle. So I might decide that I want to put an angle on it, so it's not perfectly, so it's kind of like a cone going through there. And I'm going to hit OK on that one. And now if I look at the back of it, so you can use the view cube, or you can also hold shift and middle mouse button and hover your way around to the back, and you can see that I've actually put a bit of an angle on it. Now I might decide that I want to put a 45-degree angle on these edges because it's not looking as good. So I can hit S to bring up the search, and what's called a chamfer. So I type in chamfer, grab that one, and I'm going to start chamfering some of these edges. So I just click and select them all, and let's make that 15 millimeters. Oh, that's going to be too big. Let's go like 3 millimeters. Like that. We're starting to get something that looks more like an object. So I just want you to have a play with some of those tools and just try and familiarize yourself and get your head around starting to draw some of these objects inside Fusion 360. Okay, thank you very much.